Accept the fact that you are not infallible. The truth is that no one on this world is perfect. As humans, we all have our share of imperfections. However, just because perfection is unachievable doesn't mean you shouldn't strive for it in your daily activities. When it comes to achieving your goals, it's better to take a risk and fail than to settle for mediocrity in life. It is essential to know how to better oneself in order to achieve success in both your professional and personal lives. This holds true for both professional and private pursuits. For this question, I would like you to think about what aspects of your life you wish you had more control over. What is the current state of affairs in your relationship? When it comes to your coworkers, how are you perceived? You're slightly overweight and want to better your physical appearance as well as your health. Each person's path to self-improvement is unique, and it's important to remember that. So, how can you determine what areas of your life require improvement? 1. The goal. The most common error that men make is a lack of focus in their personal lives. It doesn't matter if you are a young man starting your first job or the CEO of a multimillion-dollar firm. Everyone should have an end-of-year objective in mind. Indeed, the goals of a young guy who is just beginning his professional career may differ from those of a more experienced professional. However, having a goal isn't what divides a great individual from a mediocre one. It's the ability to achieve the goal that matters. To have a feeling of direction and a goal in life, you need high personal standards and a desire to constantly enhance your present skill set. Recognizing and working to improve one's flaws are hallmarks of a high-value individual who never lets his standards go, no matter the situation. 2. Resilience. It is imperative that every man be able to defend the interests of his loved ones, his coworkers, and even himself. Here, I'm not talking about raw physical power. Despite the fact that benching 225 pounds is a wonderful accomplishment, it will not necessarily help you achieve success as a man. Rather than retreating in terror and despair in the face of misfortune, those with emotional and social strength may retain their composure and endure through difficult circumstances. For the vast majority of men, this is a great starting place for self-improvement. Instead of trying to become a superhero overnight, focus on establishing a resilient mindset. As a husband, you may want to help your wife deal with unpleasant work situations. When the going becomes difficult in your church, you may want to establish yourself as a rock so that people can turn to you. Regardless matter how resilience presents itself, a man should be able to show courage when the occasion demands it. Remember to keep your standards high and persevere with grace and strength. 3. Effective communication. Whether it's through word, text, or bodily movements, it all matters. What many men struggle with is how to communicate effectively in a real-world scenario. Suppose you send an email that you intend to be lighthearted banter, but the recipient reads it as aggressive and caustic. Effective communication, among other things, necessitates being able to read a room and knowing what constitutes proper communication etiquette in order to avoid miscommunications. Here are some great pointers to keep in mind. Keep office conversation to a bare minimum. Everything should be entirely business. It is always polite to apologize when there is a misinterpretation and try to clarify your intentions. You should always use language properly while chatting to people you don't know very well. 4. The ability to build and maintain good relationships. One of the worst things a man can do to his mental health is be in a toxic relationship. As humans, we have a tendency to be easily influenced by other people's emotions. A study conducted by psychologists Hess and Fisher found that people are capable of mimicking a variety of emotions, including the following. According to popular theory, when someone sees another person's emotion display, they begin to mimic that person's behavior. This might cause a problem for any man who wants to be the best he can be. There's a good chance that even if you're one of the most positive individuals on the block, you'll begin to feel some of the unpleasant emotions that many around you are experiencing. To avoid this, what's the best way to go about doing so? Simple. Your partnerships should be healthy and mutually beneficial for both parties. It is essential that you first understand how to better yourself via critical study of your interactions before you can become a high-value man. Actionable steps that could be taken to help achieve this understanding include the following. Maintain an air of optimism in your speeches. Engage in friendships and relationships that make you happy. Don't be afraid to share your optimistic view with others in order to help them improve their self-esteem.